We very much may have an outfit change partway through the video. I did it for like the gag of it. Like I used to be a creator. I'm gonna give you some inside scoop about what I'm gonna get into. Anyways, let's get to it. For those of you who are new here, my name is Juanita, aka the Caramel Yogi. And for those of you who are not new here, welcome back. We're gonna try to be consistent this year. Talking about her, the band, what kicked off the need for this video is I had something else in mind. It's gonna be about attention currency, influencers, whatever, making money, all that. So if you're interested, let me know. What kicked it off was me seeing people crying, sobbing, just really in shambles over the TikTok ban. And I don't want to be like, I can't relate. I got off of TikTok maybe over a year ago. Nothing bad happened. I just felt like how I was using my time with social media needed to just be like checked. I do think TikTok is one of the more addictive of the social media companies or experiences. Like the algorithm's great, things like that. Seeing all of the like turmoil brought upon by the ban and then unbanned, whatever, 7 hours later, we're gonna double check. I'm sure there's something on the screen. And I just wanted to check in and for the sake of wellness, wanted to at least like drum up the conversation of what's going on, what are our feelings towards social media. So first things first, TikTok. If you guys have ever been on it, do you feel like you use TikTok or used to use TikTok? Are you on it every day? What I was noticing when people were talking about the ban, it was like once it was banned, like once the US was banned, people were still clicking on the app and seeing they were banned, but it was like still that motion of like picking up your phone, clicking the app, and it not working, kind of cluing me into, I'm like, people are addicted and they don't realize. People are dependent and they don't realize. Like, social media is addictive. Social media is our social connection with a lot of the people in our lives, whether they be like in person in your state or outside your state, outside your country for that matter. And it's interesting how we get connected to these platforms. I'm also looking at it from the realm of like the influencer space. So sometimes I feel a little weird calling myself an influencer, but I do think the difference between like a content creator and an influencer is that bridge of like, can you get people to buy a product, try something new, whatever. That's the influence part. On the influence side, it is interesting for me to see people get worked up about the apps when I'm like, well, there's way more other apps to enjoy. And if you don't have like a source of income tied to it, maybe you're just not like stressed about it in that way. But no, it's still very much stressful. So I want to delve deeper into that. TikTok as an experience is just this like endless scroll. It fills up your entire screen. People love like the TikTok shop and feeling a little bit more connected to creators. I do say that their like comment culture is a little bit more like interesting. Like people run to the comments more on TikTok to me than Instagram. It's fun. It's one of the most fun apps that you can be on. I think obviously the most addicting. And now when it was threatened to be taken away or was taken away and then given right back, like reminds me of that little SpongeBob scene with the jail.
If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Okay, time's up.
I can see why people got worked up about it, especially if like that's become almost like your impromptu third space. Like I know a lot of people who are like, they're not doing a lot of like local community things or maybe have a big friend circle or friends that they can go out with. So like social media fills up that space perfectly. In terms of the wellness of that, when it was threatened to be taken away or was taken away, it felt like, at least on my side, my friends and things, they were ready to like start traveling, going to their local libraries, cooking, baking, because like that time that would have been spent scrolling is now free. And you can panic and you move to another platform. A lot of people move to new platforms I've never even heard of, but just trying to fill the time. And I think we should look into that a little bit deeper. How come when this platform was gone, you were ready? I don't want to say like do something productive. It's not a good way to think about it, but like you made use of this new time. And I was like, oh, that's exciting. Like people are planning these things. Like people were crying, of course, too, but very much being like, oh, TikTok's gone. I have more time to do this. Or maybe I should go on this platform. Maybe I should build my own platform. It was a little bit more like optimistic in a way. And as soon as, this is the part, here's chapter 2. As soon as it was like, oh, TikTok is back, people, I'm on Instagram, obviously. I saw all the little like notes, bubbles, like, it's back, get ready, the story, it's back, TikTok's back. Everyone flooded back to TikTok, putting up videos, interacting with people, checking their comments, like all of that kind of like realm of oh, maybe I should reconsider my relationship with social media, to I'm never leaving again, is like interesting. It's not weird, it's not bad, it's not something to feel bad about at all. I don't want you to take that from this video. But that thought right there, for that small moment where we were a little bit free from that grip social media has on us and how we connect to our communities, was just immediately just thrown out the window. Can we think about that a little bit deeper before we just go head first right back into TikTok or whatever your social media of choice is? It's TikTok right now. Is there something there? Were you just ready to fill the time until the next big thing? Or were you kind of like, oh, like this is the sign I needed to kind of like break out of that addiction? It's an addiction, we can call it what it is. I deleted my food delivery apps, and the people who are close with me know I will Uber Eat something, DoorDash something. I'm very much like, it may be a little bit more expensive, but it's like the convenience of it all, right? I deleted it in the new year because I was like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm gonna save some more money. Something brought it on and I was embarrassed. And I was like, okay, I'll never use those apps again. And besides like the saving money of it all, I'm not even scrolling. Obviously I don't have the apps, but I'm not scrolling as much on like a food delivery app trying to find something to not cook. I'm cooking from home all the time because I don't have that like out. And I'm like, oh, I probably should have been doing this all along. Like an Uber Eats, to me, I want to use more of like a treat. Like if I have friends over, I can download Uber Eats and like get food, but not something I was like dependent on. I'm trying to think how to word this. The TikTok ban for a lot of people, I think was holding that mirror up to be like, hey, this is taking a lot of your time or a lot of your mental space. I know people who aren't on social media a lot, untrue, but like they're not in social media as much as I feel like the regular person is, but they're still very much like knowing the trends, knowing the influencer celebrities, knowing the top things to buy, because that's all our kind of culture is consumed with. So if we were to remove it completely, TikTok's banned, let's say, now it's like people are like, either where do I go to get all this information to stay in the know, or they're like, I'm going to just enjoy this time of not being sold to, like marketed to, and just like go out and enjoy my life. I saw like, I wish I had the video, I should have saved it, but it was like this couple who like put a backsplash up in between with the ban. I don't have TikTok, so like nothing really changed in my life. I know people who were just kind of like in shambles, like how am I gonna reach the clients? I couldn't move from TikTok over to my website or my email list. I have some people who are, I follow more like in the influencer realm, and I saw some people who were making more aggressive content of like, see, this is why you need an email list, or this is why you need to have your business across social media, like already kind of capitalizing on like everyone coming to a new platform. And in that rush of like, what's next? Where do we go? Tell me what to do. I think we're missing at least a good wellness check-in to be like, hey, do I want to be attached to something like this? Not that you can enjoy yourself and have this fun time, because social media is fun and you should always keep it like fun and light, but there is a keeping up with the Joneses space or element attached to it. There is this element of like, if you're not in the know, you're out. Like I remember the whole joke between like something on TikTok will go viral and then that same thing will go viral 6 months later on Instagram. So those people were like behind and like boo. In all that being said, how are you feeling? Like how, you know, what are you needing as an individual? Do you want to be like connected, or you feel like I'm a creator, I need to be where the creators are? Like this is like my Hollywood. Like I need to know what's going on, who are the major players, and how I fit into that mix? Or are you more like, no, I'm enjoying this. This is how I like relax from a long day. Like these are all like good reasons. It's more so, I think, a worthy conversation of, is TikTok the best method of these things? Like in terms of selling your product or selling your service, is it better to do it on TikTok? Because the algorithm is great and will push you to like all over the place. I don't want to say I grew the fastest. I actually grew my platform more on Instagram in terms of like connecting with different businesses. But Instagram, like you can get 1 million views very, very fast. I think if you were to check my Instagram, I didn't double check when I made this video, I had like 10 million views on something. It's more than just my immediate community of like walking around my neighborhood. That's more than Instagram, so I can see the business building component of it. But since I got rid of my TikTok personally, I was able to kind of focus on more things. My finances are better, or more put together. I built much stronger relationships with the people around me, people like actually in my state. I will say when I was like more popular with TikTok and things, my friends were everywhere. Like it was like California or a different country, Amsterdam. You know people deeply. Like I'm not gonna be like, I don't make friends on social media. You make some great friends off social media, but it is different when you can kind of like walk across the street to your friend's house. Like, you know. With that being said, I asked some questions over on Instagram. So for those of you who don't follow me on there, it is thecaramelyogi at Instagram. It's thecaramelyogi on Instagram. And I think the first question was, how did you feel about the TikTok ban? And that was just more of like, at least the answers at this point in time of recording this video, it was very much like, I don't even use TikTok, which is like valid. A lot of the people I know barely use Instagram personally. In terms of people who like follow my account more as like an influencer, I think they were kind of like, I use it, like it was kind of scattered, but definitely heavy on the I don't even use TikTok. So I know who I'm speaking to. The second one was, what's your social media usage? And I love asking this question. I've asked this even before a TikTok ban, and that is more to be like creation versus consumption. I definitely consume more than I create. Yes, I make these videos. Yes, I make an income from social media. However, I'm scrolling a lot more than necessary. So yes, as a creative, I need to also be into art. Like I need to also like be inspired by my fellow creatives or inspired to create, because I'd be playing around scrolling for hours. I could be in the darkness scrolling and I'm like, ugh, don't like that. Then I have some people who just create. They get on there, they create their content, and they limit it. They lock their phone up, whatever the case is. I know people who only consume. They go on there, they're like, I'm not trying to take no pictures. I'm not trying to make no reels, no TikToks. I just want to like see what's the next thing to buy, learn about the next restaurant I want to eat at. I know someone was mentioning they use it for communication. Like me and a friend always use like Instagram as our main mode of communication. I've tried to get her to text me, even WhatsApp. She wants nothing to do with it. So a lot of my screen time for Instagram is just me talking to one person because she won't talk to me otherwise. So love you. The last question is, would a ban have affected your source of income? I wanted to ask this, one, I'm nosy, but I wanted to ask this because I feel like people who create to the point of making income are gonna be like, I'm devastated about TikTok leaving. Like that is my main form of income. So I know I had like, are you a full-time creator? Like this is like your income for real income. Part-time creator, that's where I would kind of fall into. Someone who's creating but may not see an income yet. Like I know a lot of people at the start of this year were asking me like, I want to do Instagram, I want to do TikTok, like I want to make an income from it, like I want to, I don't know, supplement your income in some way. And they may not be making money yet, but they are creating to a point to unlock an income. With the results we have here, as I think it's skewed because my people are very much like not on TikTok. It's one of those things where I feel like people, especially me being more in the wellness community, you realize how much time you're spending on these platforms where you feel like I could be doing something else. Like for example, I could just be consuming all of this like food content creator. Like I love going to a new restaurant. I love trying something new. I don't need an influencer to always tell me where to eat. I was getting frustrated, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this, where an influencer was like,
I'm obsessed with this. I love this. You have to go get a reservation.
and it's trash. There's been so many Instagram worthy places I've been in. It's the worst food, worst service, not worth the price. So I gotta take it on myself. Like, I'm gonna try this new restaurant because I want to try, and I go and I have a good time, and I forget to film and there's no content, but it's something like I know that I got to enjoy with like my own volition. You know, it's making a life I want to live for myself. Also in that influencer space, I'm sure other creatives will bond to this. I had to personally learn that I'm not having these experiences just to share them on social media. I'm having these experiences because I want to experience it and try something new and grow as a person, whatever my why is. So posing the question back to y'all, when it comes to the TikTok ban, whether you immediately like ran back to the app or not, how are you approaching it just differently in terms of how much time you spend on it, or the influence it has on you in terms of like, do you need to know what's the next big thing, or can you try something without having that like seal of approval from your favorite influencer, or whatever the case may be. I do want to pose a challenge. Since it was about to be banned, I'm sure you already saved all your videos or deleted or posted all your drafts or committed to this new change. Would you mind just trying it for a little bit? Try for a week, try for a day, just to see how you feel. Maybe you are better off without TikTok, or maybe people who want to be, you know, trying out that influencer life, maybe you're like, no, I want to go to TikTok with like a plan. I'll post this many times a day, or I'm going to connect with these communities. I want you to just feel it out. Just see how you can kind of take back a little bit control of our relationship with social media and how it just takes time. A better way of saying it, defining your relationship with social media, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, like how can you make it be as fulfilling and intentional as possible? Because it is a part of life. I'm not going to be like, you know, social media is no good, get off of it, but just let's have a more intentional relationship with it in terms of how much time we're on it, how it's making us feel. I know a lot of people who, I'll ask people to their face because I love social media. If you like it so much, but you feel like you're constantly comparing themselves, the people who tell me like, I don't compare myself, I'm above social media, you are the worst. You are actually the worst ones that I know. As much as you feel like I'm not affected, you were as affected as someone could possibly be. So that's why I want to challenge you to redefine your relationship, or define it in general. Some people are just like on it and it's fun and like I don't think twice about it. Think a little bit about it, because it is very actively thinking about you. How to just bring yourself to the app, how to keep you in the app. Like, everything is data. They have so much data on you. It's not even funny. And the influencers are also fed this data to best appeal to you. So like, as much as like it's like a mindless fun, who cares, I'm just having fun. Oh, one of my favorite things me and my mom say. I wish you could tell this story, like it wouldn't make sense with the video, but the bottom line is, that's the thing about trouble. It starts off as fun. I see people kind of lose themselves to social media in terms of comparing themselves, or feeling that they need to have a certain thing by a certain time because of what social media is feeding you. Because the algorithms are so like individual and personalized to you, like it's on purpose. Like, you're never seeing anything just because it's random. Everything's very purposeful. So I would like us to meet social media with the same sort of intentionality, because you may not be paying attention, they're paying attention, and it may just be fun for now, but it could very quickly turn into trouble for your mental health or your spending habits. It could be mindful. Really understand why you're coming to the apps, why you're spending so much time, because like some people can scroll for like whatever 10 minutes and be happy and done with, and I know people who scroll for hours, and I'm kind of like, why are you scrolling that much if you're not making any money? Like, it is kind of like a trade-off, because all that time you were doing sitting in front of social media, learning about your favorite influencers, their lives and how they're achieving their dreams, Do you know, like, one, do you have a library card? What's the last book that you read? If you want to comment, I do need some recommendations. When's the last time you called a family member on their birthday or something nice? Do you know your neighbors as well as you know these influencers? You don't gotta be friends. The neighbor I have now, I'm not like wild about, but I know her name. I know her kind of approach to life. And instead of being so involved on these social media apps, like really be in your life, like really just before you escape, before the escapism even starts, see where your local library is at. They give out like free tickets and things. I know the library near me has like herb garden, so if I wanted to go get some mint or get some basil, I can join the garden club. And like there's so many resources and so many things around you that are actually there to make you win. Or like even on first-time home buyers, like there's grants, like there's so much in your life that's waiting for you to take use of these benefits and these resources, but you're too busy scrolling about this influencer over in Ohio who's making these cookies from scratch, or this other influencer who is a princess. So it's like, tap back into your own life, understand your relationship with social media. You can be like, I'm not addicted, I don't care, I'm just having fun. Noted, whatever. The second thing is, how are you achieving your goals and things, or how are you feeling in your body? Are you feeling like, I'm not my best self right now, or I'm trying to recover from a breakup or whatever? Like notice where you are now, and that kind of tells you like how much you may be leaning on social media to get that feel good energy back into your body. And third, do stuff in your own life. I know we can like go on TikTok shop and like learn about the next thing on TikTok. I think I found a social club via TikTok that I'm sort of in, but maybe there's something happening in your neighborhood, like a festival that's coming up or an art gallery. There's so many free things. If you look up like your chamber of commerce and things, you can find some things to do. If you're based in the Jersey area, more than happy to tell you about a multitude of things I do all the time if you want to join in. But yeah, but I did want to make the video because it's important, and there's so many great things that are just waiting for you to discover them. Social media is cool, but I think it should be a tool and not just this like full-time job or part-time job. You won't believe how many people spend hours on social media and just feel like afterwards, like just like sick, or it's interesting. We can talk about this more. Another video, like a research video, will be coming soon about the attention economy and our relationship with influencers, because I do have like an inside scoop about it. So, until next time, you know, we're just gonna take a moment, sit with yourself, redefine our relationships to things so we can just live in as full of not even as full of a life, but as intentional of a life as possible. Keep me posted on what you're doing, what you're trying, how you stick to these challenges and whatnot, and I will see you next time. Bye.